So this whole entire video sparked from the idea, why aren't there more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games? In fact, that's what this, I almost say game, this video was originally gonna be called, but I decided, it'd be kind of boring to just talk about that. I will talk about my input. What do I think? Because I almost want to say, like, that's what I hope my channel kind of not becomes known for. That's definitely something that I really want to be doing a lot on this channel. I tend to eventually do a Gotham Knights one. I did my Suicide Squad one, the first video I ever made for this channel, even before Welcome to the Dane Train? What? That was like, Welcome to the D Train video, so yeah, there you go. Welcome to the D Train. So, with all that being said, let's get into, how to make a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games, and what would I do when I, what are my ideas, right? Yeah. So first of all, why aren't there more? I don't think they're popular enough anymore. We have I don't even know if it's still going on. I never watched it, but Rise of the T.M.N.T. That was a show, and before that we had the other show, which I've seen. I think all of season 1 and parts of season 2. And yeah, I thought the one show was pretty good. Can't speak for Rise of the TMNT though. But TMNT itself is good. They had the live action movies a while ago, but if you think about it recently, there wasn't really anything that was going on, recently with, sorry, I just want to make sure the mic was next to my mouse, because I've had this problem way too many times where the mic isn't next to my mouse and I have to re-record everything. I've already been talking for a minute, so that would be really annoying. But yeah, sorry about that. So they're just not really popular enough anymore, I don't think. People like them, but I don't think the general audience is really like them as much as other people might like. I love them, but there just isn't really enough with them currently, I don't think. Um so yeah, with all that being said, see this video would be like 2 minutes long if that's all it was. Um so yeah, with all that being said, let's talk about what I would do for a game. So, the most recent game, as far as I know, that we've had, the game Smite, which I know nothing at all about, but just popped up in my recommended on YouTube one time, the TMNT trailer. And I was like, oh, cool, new TMNT game, that's awesome! And it was just some, like, DLC for the game. But, yeah. The Mutants in Manhattan, that's what it's called. Mutants in Manhattan game was, if I'm not mistaken, 4 players. Like, you could play online and stuff. I'm not quite sure how that game was. I never played it, but it looks pretty cool from what I've seen. And I think that that's how to do a TMNT game, but at the same time, there are multiple ways to do it. What I personally would do is make it co-op. Now, I don't know if that game was co-op 4 players, but you should make it co-op 4 players. Not many people, I'd say, have 4 controllers, but I mean, you got to give them the option. You can have the PC, or not the PC, the CPU take over if you would like to do that, but I don't think you should be like, oh, no one's gonna have 4 controllers, so we'll just automatically have the CPU take over, or they have to play online, because it's more fun to do couch co-op, which not enough games do anymore. There's a whole separate discussion, but so that's one thing that kind of is a little bit lame. But I think that a TMNT game would have to do that to be successful. It just wouldn't make sense to not have some type of co-op, especially, any type of co-op in general, but especially not couch co-op. Um, if it's confused, I'm basically saying you need to have co-op or multiplayer in a TMNT game, but I think especially you should have couch co-op. Now, outside of that, how would the turtles play differently, right? Because that's something kind of that you'd want is very special about the turtles. They each are different characters in the way they act, so that'd fall into story mode and stuff like that. But mostly just also how they fight too. So Donnie and Leo would have more long range, whereas Mikey and Raph would maybe deal more damage, but they're close range still. And Sorry, this isn't scripted or anything. I'm kind of just rambling here, spitting out ideas, spitting bars. But yeah, um, so I'm watching my gameplay as I'm doing this. I'm really good at the game I'm playing right now. It's called T.M.N.T Double Damage. It's a web game, but and in the web game is kind of where I got this idea from. Is you'll kind of be able to see in a second as what am I doing? I don't know. I just did. So he says if you pause it there, you can see effective against machine stuff like that, and then um, so he and Mikey were effective against machines, whereas the other two were effective against foot. Now Donnie's my favorite, so I'm playing as Donnie. Whereas what's his face and what's his face, Leo and Raph are effective against Foot Clan members. But then, like I said, I don't think you need to really do that. I wouldn't personally have machines or anything like that in a game. I just make it be Shredder and the Foot Clan. I like the Krang, but I don't think he's a. I'd rather just try to stick to Shredder. Superhero, games and movies nowadays just don't have a good. They never did, honestly, on how to handle multiple villains. So I would say the best thing to probably do would just simply to have it be Shredder and the Foot Clan, and no one would be more effective. But like I said earlier, I think having them what's it called? Having the long range and short range, and then range. Sorry, I can't speak today. I can never speak in these videos. If you count the amount of times I say in my videos I can't speak today, you'll run out of fingers. Well, you won't run out, but like you won't be able to keep counting because you only have 10. Never mind. So, as I was saying, Mikey and Raph would deal more damage just to every enemy than Donnie and Leo would. But well, you could also always, I guess, go the route of Mikey and Donnie wouldn't deal as much damage because they don't have, actual like weapons that would affect your enemies. They just have, like they don't have blades. So you could, I guess, kind of try to say that they should do that, but I think to kind of balance it out, have the long range characters deal less damage and the short range characters deal more damage, just so that's, I think, more fair. Because then it's like, what's the purpose of Mikey, right? He doesn't really deal damage to anyone. He doesn't really, he's not effective against anyone, so what's even the point? Whereas Raph deals damage, all, extra, or not extra damage, but he deals more damage, even though he can't, how do you saying? Even though he's short range. And then, I'm sorry, I'm not thinking straight right now. So yeah, if we did that, Mikey, well, the kind of realistic, like, blades do more damage thing. Not Mikey, sorry, Raph would have short range, but deal more damage. And Donnie would have, long range, but deal less damage. But then Mikey has neither. He doesn't have long range, and he doesn't deal more damage. So I think doing that would work out well. When it comes to boss fights, or just actually gameplay in general, honestly, you should have team up moves, kind of take from Arkham, take everything from Arkham. So, have counterattacks and strikes and stuff like that. But then also, from Arkham Knight, like the team up moves, I would say include stealth. They are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not just, the Teenage Mutant Turtles. They're ninjas as well, so incorporate that stealth. I think that would make sense to have stealth. Some people might not necessarily like it, but I think it works just fine personally. Now, how to do stealth, right? Because they don't have their grappling hooks, they don't have their glide. Give them smoke bombs. It's you wouldn't have to give them smoke bombs, but I would personally recommend doing smoke bombs. And silent takedowns, yeah, but something that Arkham Knight did very heavily, I almost want to say, focused on, like, gadgets and stuff. And Batman, being Batman, right, he could do silent takedowns from practically anywhere. Uh, Ledges, but like grates and stuff like that as well. I think the turtles should just be able to, like, tuck in all their limbs and their head and, like, stay in their shells. This would be a little bit OP for hiding, but I mean, like, if you get seen, you won't be able to do anything in this mode, but it would kind of just be like a hiding mode. So I think that would be cool. But the stealth is like the ones that I'm kind of stuck on. I don't really know exactly what they should do. They should have throwable like shurikens and stuff like that, objects. But overall, you really don't need to have that much with them in stealth. It would mostly just be the combat, and traverse will be something kind of hard to do. But I think it would be uh possible to do traversal. It would just be a little bit hard because you don't have your grapple. You don't have your glide and stuff like that, like how you do in Arkham. So have it be a lot more parkour based. Now, outside of that, what else is there? Right, you got traversal, combat, and stealth, all practically copying Arkham's, but the traverse will be a little bit different because there is parkour in Arkham, but you don't really need to do it unless you're modding free roaming or you do that glitch in Arkham Knight. I don't. Did they ever patch that glitch? I hope they didn't. I want to play that glitch, but sorry, I just touched the mic. Didn't know if you guys heard that, like if that hurt. So sorry, headphone users or just anyone, if I did touch the mic there. But yeah, so outside of that, what else do we have? Well, we have the story mode. Like I said earlier, have Shredder be the main villain, but what characters include? The four turtles, of course, Splinter, April, and Casey Jones, I think, for the good guys. But then what villains, right? I think we should have side missions, like most superhero games do nowadays. So what would that include? We'll maybe have Karai in there. Maybe have Bebop and Rocksteady. That would be really fun. Have Bebop and Rocksteady. I think they should also be in the story, but you can incorporate them side mission as well. And then just have other side missions while just helping out around the city. Uh, have it be fun to do though. Don't make it be tedious. Have it be fun. Spider-Man PS4 did that, I'd say, fairly well. Made this stuff be fun. Some people might hate me for saying this, but going around the city and catching pigeons really shouldn't be fun. But I never played those missions, but they look really, really fun. It's an excuse to try to do really cool tricks and go really fast and really high up. Web sling as Spider-Man, so that's pretty cool. And Spider-Man PS4 just overall had good side missions, I think. Or at least they were fun side missions. TMNT would be harder to do because, someone like Batman has a lot more villains to choose from for side missions, whereas the TMNT doesn't. So, again, you don't necessarily need villains for side missions, so you can still do other stuff. And something else is that they don't have the gadgets and stuff like Batman does, right? In stealth. So what you do is kind of incorporate what you had in Night, but with like the dual team takedowns or like call in, your friend for a takedown, not friend, but in like real life, like in the game, like call Robin for a takedown, call Batman for a takedown, or call Nightwing for a takedown. Uh, and so they'd come in and do a takedown on someone. I don't know if they're quiet or loud. I forget. I'm not sure, but yeah. So, but kind of have maybe a button for each turtle, or it would just kind of rotate around. I'd be fine if it just rotated because like in when it comes to Predator, I don't think any turtle should play better than another turtle. But you could call in each other, and for takedowns, you could team up for takedowns, and because that's kind of like the what is appealing to the turtles, or like the appealing thing about the turtles, fighting way, is that they work together as a team, and they each have like their distinguish their Mikey might swing around his nunchucks in like a circle, whereas Donnie would use his staff to in long range. Raph might throw one of his sai, and then Leo like fighting one person on his right and one person on his left, and different stuff like that. And just so that in combat, I think that would be cool, but in Predator, I don't really think that you should make because when it comes to combat, each character can play differently. I think that's something that Arkham did well. But when it comes to Predator, looking at you, I don't know about Arkham Knight, but Arkham City is a huge example. There's 4 playable characters in Arkham City. Let's compare each of them to their like Ninja Turtle equivalent. So first off, we got Batman, and I'll say, I'd say Leo. So Leo and Batman, right? Actually, let's not compare them to turtles. Let's just look at them. Batman is an unstoppable force. You got your smoke bomb in case you get seen. You can grapple away in case you get seen. and you got all your different gadgets as well. Then next up, second best I'd say would be Robin. He's got a smoke bomb, he's got his grapple, and he's got quite a few gadgets, and his bullet shield is really OP as well. He's got quite a bit of stuff. Then next up we got Nightwing, who doesn't he's not horrible. He has his grapple hook, but he should have a smoke bomb and he doesn't. He has his line launcher, he has other stuff that is effective, but it's just not effective enough. It just doesn't work well enough, and he should have a smoke bomb. This is kind of when we start to get like, okay, they're not balanced enough. And we have Catwoman. Catwoman doesn't have a grapple. Her whip thing takes forever, and you can easily get spotted. Because if you get spotted, you can't drop a smoke bomb and grapple away. As Nightwing, at least you can grapple away. You can't. You don't have a smoke bomb. I don't expect her to have a smoke bomb. I don't expect her to have a grapple. But I expect it that they have something that can make up for that. Batman shouldn't be more. He can be more powerful, but it gets to the point where like Catwoman half the time just isn't even fun to play as in Predator. I'm great with Catwoman combat because saying it about combat is like each of them has their own special moves. Yes, should all of them have disarm and destroy? Yeah, but I can look past that. They each have cool special moves. The only one that special moves like doesn't do anything, I'd say, are Nightwing and Catwoman. Robins and Batmans definitely do stuff, but then you also have their gadgets, and they are pretty good as well. And yeah, uh, they played differently in combat, but I wouldn't necessarily say. Well, no, okay, like Batman was the best in combat, but that didn't make it hard to play as the others because they all had something to do. For example, right? They could all do beatdowns on armored people. Sure, Batman had the REC gun, which made it easier to take them down because you could send them to a ground takedown, but I wouldn't necessarily say that the others weren't good at all. But then when we get to Predator, Catwoman, what she's supposed to do on armored people, right? She can't do anything. The others can knock them to the ground and do ground takedown. She needs to use her whip to do that. And then after she does that, she's going to need something that, her whip will, like, the game will detect as something that she can whip up onto, which, spoiler alert, it doesn't do that half the time. And it just creates a thing where it's like, it's not even fun to play as Catwoman half the time, Predator. This game can't do that. You should make all of them be fun to play as and work well in Predator, but also all be equal. They should play a little bit differently in Predator. I'm not saying have everything be the same, but make it equal enough and fair enough where, yeah, it might be easier to play as Leo than Mikey in Predator, but Mikey does have something that Leo doesn't, whereas Catwoman, yeah, she has stuff that Batman doesn't, like the caltrops, but are those really useless, or useful at the end of the day? No, actually, in fact, they're the opposite. They're absolutely and totally and utterly useless, but I'm gonna rant about that. Sorry, I just knocked the headset. I'm gonna talk about that in a different video because I'm already planning a, top, whatever I end up doing. At first I was gonna do 10, maybe I'll just do 5 or whatever, just talk about top. Maybe I'll do like 6 or 7, I don't know. Best gadgets in the Arkham series, and oh boy, you better bet there's one coming for the worst gadgets because, there we go. So, man, I hate the caltrops. They're so bad. What's even the purpose? Oh, sorry, I'm getting off track here. Ninja Turtles, right? Give them shurikens, give them kind of ropes to use, give them gadgets, but I wouldn't say you need to do like Arkham. They're more so, I mean, they are, superhuman. They can do things humans can't. And yeah, I think the coolest thing you could do is like suck up all their limbs into their shell and kind of just be a shell sitting there. So it's reduced to damage in case you do get hit that way, and also it makes you harder to be seen. Now, you can be seen that way, but it's less likely that the enemies will see you, especially if like you're just in a corner, in a shadowy corner. So that's really cool. I think they should kind of introduce a shadow thing in this game. It would be a little bit cartoony, I know, but kind of being able to blend into what game did this. I know there's some game that did it. I just can't think of what game it was. What game could you be up against a wall and like creep around in the shadows, and like if you're in the shadows you can't be seen? Oh, it was Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Yeah, as Spider-Man Noir. If you're in the shadows, you can't be seen. If you have like a flashlight on you, you can't be seen. Even if you make him like a really loud noise, you can't be seen. No, but there was another game. I don't know, probably a lot of games do that, but kind of introduces shadows thing where it's like You can't run the shadows. You'll have to do like your crouch kind of. Not in the Arkham series, Batman like crouches, goes up against the wall, creeps around the wall. That's basically what you gotta do in this game. You gotta, but in the shadows, and you won't be seen, at least not easily. Have the enemies have flashlights. Basically, make this be a mix of Arkham and Shattered Dimensions, which some people say Shattered Dimensions Spider-Man Noir levels were a ripoff of Arkham. A little bit, but not quite. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got. So kind of to recap, traversal, the parkour from Arkham, but nothing else. And maybe give them like the Shell Razor. I mean, why not, right? Just go all in with this game. Combat practically Arkham's, and then the stealth would be mixture of Arkham's and Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, and a little, Spider-Man Noir levels, and a little bit, some new mechanics as well, and then story. Story. Did I tell you about the story? Well, I didn't, so here we go. Did I mention the story? Yes, I did like 20 times. So here we go, story. Just kind of some ideas just to toss out there. Shredder's threatening to bomb the city, to poison the city with the gas, to poison the city's water supply, just to simply take over the city, to release mutagen on the city, typical TMNT bad guy stuff. Turtles aren't really okay with this and they're gonna stop him. Have the locations be really cool, have like all, the iconic locations from TMNT, able to go back to the lair and, get some Splinter wisdom. Like Alfred wisdom from Arkham Origins, you get it, guys? It's funny. Laugh. You got 5 seconds to laugh. I've had enough time to laugh now, so there you go. I hope you laughed at that joke. You should. It was a great joke. Uh, yeah, so, if you want to do, kind of other, like, mini missions within the story / side missions, Bebop and Rocksteady. I don't know, they're robbing a bank. Karai's trying to recruit new ninjas to her team or something. Gotta go stop her. Just have just different stuff like that. Yeah, and I think the big thing about this would just be the co-op and gameplay, because at the end of the day, that's what the TMNT used to be, the arcade games and stuff like that. What would you do there? Yep, it was a 4-player beat 'em up. That's what they should return to, but it's a 3D. So not just have it be this linear game, have it be a 3D Arkham inspired, and not copy inspired, TMNT game. So yeah, those are my thoughts. This is going to be a lengthy video. Hopefully I wasn't rambling too much in that. Hopefully I got my ideas across. Hopefully you will like and subscribe to this video, because if you don't, I'll be a very sad man. That was a joke. You don't need to like and subscribe if you don't want to. And yeah, so have a great day. And until next time, I need to start remembering to do this. This needs to be like my outro. Have a great day, and until next time, keep being awesome. Or not until next time. What's a good outro? I don't really want to like copy other people, so what's a good one? It's like until we meet again. Until our paths cross again. I don't know. Until you watch one of my videos, because our paths aren't really crossing. You're just watching my video. I don't know. Stay awesome, guys. Unless you're not already awesome, then be awesome. But you're watching my video, so I know you're awesome. I mean, hopefully. Just be awesome, guys. Bye.